Happy birthday, Lindsay.
It's Lindsay's birthday.
When this comes out.
Oh, shout out, Lindsay. Episode 169 of the Until Next Week podcast.
She's turning
honor.
32.
Wow.
Well,
She's almost done.
Almost fully cooked.
Wow, I'm really proud of you, Lindsay. So happy birthday to you. If anyone has any kind of thoughts towards Lindsay, throw them in the comments section. Yeah. Good or bad, preferably bad.
Yeah, that would be great if you guys could just slander Lindsay on her birthday.
Man.
I'm talking to you, Michael Fuller. I'm talking to you, everybody else who's listening with their ears right now.
I know, Elizabeth Virgil.
Yes.
You know, you have some thoughts about Lindsay, so throw those in the comments section immediately.
We need them.
It's gonna be a good one. But yeah, it is March Madness to say the least. We got another round of Jake's bracket coming at you, and we have some surprises on this episode. So make sure you tune in for episode 169 of the pod.
Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. A date that shall live in infamy. Dane and his belongings were suddenly and deliberately attacked by the associates and employees of the Empire of the Lonies. Dane was at peace with that nation and was still in conversation with his government and its emperor, looking forward to a maintenance of peace in the office. Indeed, 1 hour after leaving the office, air squadrons had commenced bombing in Dane's desk. The ambassador to Dane and his colleagues delivered to the Secretary of State a formal reply to recent allegations. And while this reply stated that it seemed useless to continue existing diplomatic negotiations, it contained no threat or hint of war of an armed attack. It will be recorded that this attack from those in the office makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days or even weeks ago. During the intervening time, the HQ office workers deliberately sought to deceive him by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace. The attack yesterday on Dane's desk has caused severe damage to peace relations and harmony in the office. I regret to inform you that all you have done is simply awaken a sleeping giant and given him motivation. Last night, HQ forces attacked Dane's desk, his computer, his water bottle, and his car. And this morning, HQ forces have sought no peace relations and have in fact started what will be a warlike scene the office has never seen. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. The people of Dane's desk have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications of the very safety of our nation. As Commander-in-Chief of Dane's desk, car, water bottle, and computer, I have directed that all measures be taken for our defense. But always will our whole nation remember the character of the onslaught against us. No matter how long it may take, we will overcome this premeditated invasion. Dane and his might will win through absolute victory. I believe that I interpret the entire will of the exec team and the people when I assert that we will not only defend ourselves to the utmost ability, but we will take every measure to combat this treachery that shall never endanger us again. Hostilities exist. There is no blinking at the fact that our people, our territory, and our interests are in grave danger. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of the people, we will gain triumph again, inevitably. I ask that the exec team declare war against the unprovoked and dastardly attacks by the HQ office workers on Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. We used to live in peace in this office. We used to have fun together. We used to be on the same page, and that page was incinerated upon the attacks of March 18th. Maybe it was no mistake that this attack was executed one day after St. Patrick's Day. But I assure you one thing. This conflict will not be resolved in a day, a week, but over several weeks, months, perhaps even years. We will not go quietly. We will fight on. We will restore greatness to this nation and bring honor to us all. Thank you. Wow.
You went longer than I thought you would.
I know. It's always longer. Every time I read it to people. I stood up on a chair and read it to people last night.
Yeah, I had a 3-minute clip, and you were stuttering through some words. And like, we're not going to make it. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I was going to click a different song, and it went to just a new song altogether. I'm like, this still works. I think you're getting the point. Hopefully you're still listening.
What I'm saying is peace negotiations have been annihilated.
I went in and out a little bit, but is it a prank war situation?
Basically. So
is it all against you, or is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. There was a cricket, like an electronic cricket, that somebody placed inside somebody else's desk.
You talked about electronic crickets before.
At my old office, yes.
Was this you?
This was not me. Okay. That's the point.
Okay.
And so here's what happened. The electronic cricket has been sounding for weeks. And then finally, somebody who's loud and obnoxious finally was like, blah, 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 we need to find this cricket. And then...
Do you want to say who it was?
No. Okay. Because nobody knows who it is.
Okay.
And so... I come back from lunch with somebody and everybody's like tearing apart the place looking for this cricket. And then I'm supposed to go into a meeting with this one guy, and I go over here and sit in this booth and we're talking about this. It's not like a super formal meeting. It's just like an idea generation meeting. And so we're in the middle of that. And then everybody's like yelling at Dane and this other guy, like, you guys are suspicious. You're not participating in this. That's why you're suspicious. And I'm like, no, I did not do it. That's why I'm not participating in it. And I'm also in a meeting.
Yeah. So, you'd be good in the court of law. Like, I know I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. It's like the Polar Express, the little kid, like on Christmas Eve.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I did. What should we do? We'll give him grace this year.
Exactly.
Just like Jesus does for us.
Well, and I was like, what do you want? Do you want me to swear on whatever it is? Do you want tax records? Do you want bank statements? I'll show you. I've never bought a cricket like this.
I thought you were going to say, like, I don't have any of those, so please don't ask for these items.
That too.
Yeah.
And so the guy who I'm in a meeting with goes, because we kept being harassed while we were trying to be in this, he goes, it would be funny if we just left. And I go, yeah, let's leave. And so we just leave. And so we come back, and then all of his stuff are fine, but then I go to my desk and every single item that I've ever owned is gift wrapped. Like my monitor, my my keyboard, my mouse, my Bibles, my cabinet, my laptop itself, my water bottle, my everything.
Yeah, it's everything. You don't need to say every single item.
It's all gift wrapped.
Has that happened to you before, having a gift wrapping? Because that happened to me my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
Me and this other girl, I think she was a junior at the time, we were kind of going back and forth, like, who's the ultimate, like, Christmas person? And I didn't expect a sneak attack, which did happen to prove that she is the Christmas person of the team. Like, number one, I was probably close number two. Showed up to practice. All of my equipment was gift wrapped, and like some stuff was thrown on like the high dive. Other stuff was like thrown wherever else. I had to go around looking for it, and she proved her point that she was the Christmas champion. Or I could just go, she's like the Christmas lady, and I could be the Christmas man.
Well, you both could be Christmas ladies.
It was kind of wild. Like, wow. You got me fins. You got me paddles. Thank you so much for all this equipment.
Paddles.
Yeah. We also had like a yearly like dual meet like around Christmas time, and eventually it was named after her. But it was funny because her name was Lauren Williams, and would be like, it's the Lauren Williams Memorial Invite, and they're like, she's not dead.
I always say that about people. I'm like, it's the so-and-so Memorial blank.
I mean, it's similar to like the Office episode, like the Fun Run Memorial Invite is like, no one died. Like, what are you doing? But
it's only funny when you say it when they're alive.
I'm curious if it's I bet you, I think they still do the meet every year. Obviously, I haven't swam college since 2020. Rest in peace.
That year, 6 years later.
Yeah. I hope it's still going on. Everybody's like, who is this person? Like, what does she do to be called a memorial invite? So, but yeah, anything else kind of happened besides the gift wrap?
Well, that was just
bombing?
The beginning.
Oh, just the beginning.
Yeah, that was just the beginning. So they gift wrapped everything. I then
Is this where my tithe dollars are going?
Yes.
To gift wrapping?
Yes.
Good. And that's the box I always check.
It was Christmassy in the gift wrapping.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I incinerate and destroy all of the gift wrapping. I opened my computer and they had switched my language on my computer to Mandarin. And so had to figure that out over 30 minutes.
You figured out Mandarin? That's cool.
No, I did not figure out Mandarin. Okay. I figured out the symbols next to it of which one was the language.
I was really hoping, like, I just learned Mandarin in 30 minutes.
Well, it was all in that language, so I couldn't like copy and paste it into like my computer and get English. And so,
you know what you should have done? What? Hear me out. You can have like the live translate on your phone.
I thought about that. I tried to do that.
Okay,
but I was so furious.
that is rough.
I was furious, and then they stole my car. It's gone. Like, it was gone.
Have you got it back yet?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I guess you did drive.
I drove here.
That is true.
I didn't realize until I went and got my keys out of my bag, and then I was like, it's not in the same pocket I always put it in. And I walk outside, gone, just gone. And I had to go find my car.
This really is a sign of war.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the worst part is, so they were mad about the cricket thing. I didn't do it, told them I didn't do it. And then they pulled the camera footage, and halfway through pranking me, they go, or the security guy the maintenance guy goes, "Hey guys, you're pranking the wrong guy," and then shows them all the footage of the person who actually did it, and they go, "We don't care, we're pranking Dane anyways."
What? No.
And I was like, "So you don't care about truth?"
Do we know who did it?
Yes, we know who did it.
Have we mentioned his name or her name before?
Well, it's my boss. Yes,
it was him.
Yes,
he did it and let you take the fall.
Yes,
that's a good boss.
I know, right? And he wasn't even there that day, so it would have been the perfect day to prank him.
That's wild.
And yet they're like, "No, we're gonna prank Dane. We don't care about truth. We want this." And so now I was so mad that day. 3 hours I didn't talk to people. Next day I came in, I wrote this press release, which is just a copy of the Pearl Harbor speech that Truman gave, and I just reworded some things.
That's
because that's how I felt.
Yeah.
A very Pearl Harbor-like attack. And so now I've declared war against everybody, and I'm like, oh, I'm on my own timeline.
Yeah.
And there's two people who really were just louder than everybody else and got everybody else to do their bidding is what happened.
That's
so
wild.
They're what we call the head of the snake. And I'm going to create a document over this. And everybody who I know was involved, I also issued an immunity statement. If you come forward with information as to who, how, and what, I will give you immunity. 2 people came forward. And so I now know what happened.
I thought you said they already pulled the footage. Didn't you just watch that?
No, they pulled the footage of the person who put the cricket in.
Then but you're saying for the people who did the pranks, you didn't have that footage.
I don't have that footage.
Okay.
But I know who did it. People came forward and just were like, "Hey, this person did this and this and this." And, this.
And they're like, "Please don't attack us.
Here's
Please."
what was said.
Yes,
and
yes.
I was like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Building those alliances with you quickly because they know the power you have.
Oh man, I want to be the guy who gets an amendment put in the employee handbook: no pranks. Yeah. That's the goal of what we're going for.
It's just going all back to like episode 2 or 3 of the podcast with prank wars. History repeats itself.
Well, that was actually like we were pranked, and I was also in the middle of pranking.
Yeah,
I did not do anything, had no part in it. They just assumed I did and wanted to prank somebody. Yeah. And so I was an easy choice and victim, and they were already halfway through it. And so I want to end them. Not murder.
Not murder. I mean,
not murder.
But as close as you can get to murder.
But I want them to think, why is this happening? When's the next attack?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening to me. I want 2 to 3 to happen to each person.
That's awesome.
So this will be over like the next several years.
Several years is crazy.
I told the story.
Looking forward to it.
You remember the story of me getting vengeance on that dude over TikTok comments? Where like I waited a year to come back to the comments.
Yep. And he's like, dude, what are you bringing up?
Yes.
That's me also when I talk to Bears fans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's how I felt about that comment. Mm-hmm. How do you think I feel about this?
You're not feeling good. But plus, this is good for us because it's content. And that's what you guys need.
So that's what I did all week.
That's awesome. Did you see the news about
which one?
The Bachelorette?
No, I can't say I saw that.
I mean, I'm not a big Bachelorette fan, but I guess the person who was going to be on it was like one of the big people from the Mormon Wives show.
Oh!
One of those, or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I love that.
And then right before the Bachelorette like series was supposed to premiere, or like the season, it was canceled.
Good.
Because apparently she did some bad things years ago. They brought up these like videos that didn't make her look good, and I'm like, I feel like you probably knew about this in the first place, but whatever. So that's really disappointing for us.
Or you clearly didn't do your research.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of people. Emily, shout out, she listens to the pod. She is not happy about this news. So if you want to let us know in a strongly worded Spotify comment what all your thoughts are on this situation, please leave that, and we can read it next week.
Yes, we also have lots of thoughts on it.
Yeah, because I've definitely watched The Bachelorette.
Well, you're Mormon.
That too. Yeah. Hey, episode 169, everybody. I'm Mormon. No.
Jack, cut that clip.
Well, and then also like the whole time, because when they're promoting it, they're like more, and then men, like MEN, because she is the Bachelorette. It's like
more men is
more
crazy.
Men. Yeah. And I'm like, that's actually pretty clever.
Well, that's crazy though too.
I mean, the shoe
we're just
fits.
Celebrating polygamy in this country now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, that's what the Bachelorette and Bachelor have been.
It is.
It's like, hey, here's 30 people you're dating at the same time.
It's encouraged
Tell
cheating.
all of them you love them, and then do whatever you can to gain more social media followers.
Man, I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say this. The Bachelor and Bachelorette is probably up there with the most trash television you can watch. Love Island is also
Jersey
there.
Shore.
Jersey Shore
that
trash.
was one of them, yeah.
Like, It's just so bad.
Do you know what's not? Duck
What?
Dynasty.
Duck
Watch
Dynasty,
the old
wholesome.
episodes of Duck Dynasty. I haven't seen the new stuff. It's probably not as good, but the original OG Duck Dynasty, that's what Christians lived for.
I've
and
never watched
hunters. You haven't?
I've never seen an episode.
It was
of
so
Duck
good.
Dynasty.
I like legitimately would watch it, like the premiere every single week.
Dang it.
And I'll like live tweet it and like send messages to like my other close friend who also loved the show.
Dang it.
Because at that point we both were in love with Sadie Robertson.
I mean,
shout
we all are
out
still.
early high school. Yeah.
I love her.
She
still.
is married. You probably shouldn't love her anymore.
Hey, this is the polygamy episode of the pod. Per Samuel's request.
That's true. Okay, besides that, I mentioned last week I was going to do that home run derby.
Yes.
After the episode. Went to Fun Acre, which is like a mini golf course in town. Decided to get warmed up. Haven't swung a bat in a long time. Took 32 swings there.
Oh, man.
It's looking okay.
Okay.
Hitting a few more pop-ups than I needed, a few more like ground balls, but it was hitting the ball pretty hard.
Fast, medium, or slow?
I was just doing medium because I didn't think they would be blazing fastballs by me at this event. And then showed up at Hammons Field. You know, it's 3:15-ish to left field. You had to use a wood bat. You only got 10 outs, which stunk. And I did not hit a home run. I did hit better than most of the people there. Unfortunately, they had some like little kids who were like 6 to 10 years old also swinging. I'm like, just get out of there. You can't hit the ball. Like, give me more opportunities. And I was getting a little frustrated with them. They had like metal bats for like the little kids to use, but then these little kids were still taking the 33-ounce wood bat up there, 34-ounce. I wasn't even using the 34-ounce that much.
That's pretty heavy, yeah.
And I'm like, you're not gonna hit the ball. You have no hope. Do school. You have no future in this sport. I kept those thoughts mostly to myself.
Mostly.
But yeah, after the original 10 outs, they're like, you can still get more chances like just to hit it out for fun. And I didn't want to take the metal bat to like get the easy home runs. So I stuck with the wood bat. I hit one. I think it was the warning track. They had like some stuff set up on the warning track to like put up on the outfield wall. And I believe I hit that. What stunk was my farthest hits weren't getting pulled to left where the shortest part of the field was 315. I'm hitting like left center. So I probably hit some that would have been the distance of a home run, but I needed to pull it right down the line.
You needed StatCast to track your balls.
Yeah, basically. I probably had an exit velo of probably in the low 90s on some of them.
Yeah, 32
maybe
miles
high 80s. I don't really know, but I probably still hit the ball probably close to 3 to 330 on my longest hits. It just wasn't in the right spot.
And terrible launch angle.
Yeah, the launch angle, I did hit a few too many pop-ups, but I did get the random fans who don't play sports back. Wow, that's good. I'm like, I know it is, but I want a home run.
You turn around, shut up, Diane.
Yeah, stop it. It didn't go out.
You're taunting
They would
me
have caught
now.
it. They would have caught it, okay?
Yeah. We all know what it was.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait until next year. For another chance at hitting a home run there. And just afterwards, like I had a blister on my hand, like my hands were bruised. I'm like, dang.
Did you not use gloves?
No, I did. But when you don't swing a bat at all for months at a time, I think the last time I had like a batting practice like episode was in October when I went down to Florida with Jokes with Jack. And I did hit a couple of home runs at that park. I did use
Homeroonies.
I think I used a metal bat though in that situation.
That's
but,
PEDs.
Yeah. He did not hit a home run. So
that means
say?
no joke this week, Jack.
Yeah. Well, we'll still give it to him just in case. But yeah, still a good time. And then the other major update this week was I went to Winter Jam last night.
It's not winter.
Yeah, they're saying it's more like spring or summer jam.
Yeah.
Wasn't for sure if I was going to go to this. If you don't know what Winter Jam is, it's basically like give or take 7 to 10 Christian artists. They charge $15 at the door, all general admission, essentially. And a lot of times they sell out, especially if it's good weather. I didn't expect to get into this concert because, again, like the gates open at 6. You usually have to line up like an hour in advance to have a chance, especially with it being like 85 degrees.
Hot.
So I walked over like after work, saw like the crazy lines. I'm like, yeah, there's no chance. And then I kind of started walking around because a lot of times if they sell out, they do like a free concert out front where each artist does like a couple songs. So I was kind of waiting for that.
True.
But then the lines kept on getting shorter and shorter and shorter. It's like, I'm not going to get a free concert. If I want to see anything, I'll have to pay now. So eventually I actually did get in. Like at the last minute, and then I was like, well, I don't care about these beginning bands. So then I just did laps, just kept walking around the venue for like 30 minutes. I looked at the end of the day, I had like 15,000 steps, which is insane.
You're like a mom in a mall.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care about a lot of these beginning bands that much. But eventually they did get to some of the better bands. And when they came up, I'm like, well, now I have to find a seat. So essentially they're basically sold out. Like all the seats are taken, but had my ways. And I ended up basically being like the second row, like side stage. Like it was still like a seat anybody could sit in, but no one was really spotting it. So I stood right in front of this really little kid who was being so annoying. Like they were trying to have like serious moments, and he was just like yelling anything he could think of. I'm like, kid. Or then I was thinking to his parents, like, parents, shut your kid up. Like they're trying to be like spiritual here, and he's like, ah!
Jack, clip that.
He was so annoying.
Kid, shut
I was
up.
like, I want to chuck this kid. It was so bad.
How old do you think he was?
Probably like 7.
Wow.
Or maybe, I mean, I don't know. All these kids nowadays, I can't tell.
That's true. They could be any
He
age.
could be like 10 also. But I'm like, come, parents, like, do something to this kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, ended up really close. Like the first artist I cared about was Holvey, who's like a rapper and kind of like the Lecrae sphere. To get people kind of going, because not everybody knows his music. He did sing his one song they did with Forrest Frank.
Oh.
No Longer Bound.
Yeah.
So they're playing like Forrest Frank's part, but then he raps over like his part, and everybody's like, oh my gosh. So that was pretty cool. And then like after he finished up, just to say how close I was, I dapped him up.
You did?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Because he ran out into the crowd, which it wasn't like anywhere near me, but then he came back where he has to walk like side stage and get out of there.
Yeah.
And I was just right there and just kind of dapped him up.
It's me.
I was like, what's up, Christopher? That's his real name. I was waiting for the opportunity to.
He says that in his songs.
He does.
He goes, Christopher.
And I was like, I think he said this before, and I had to do like a Google search and like, yeah, his name's Christopher. I didn't call him by his first name, but I did dap him up, and I was like, we got something
Is
going
his last
here.
name just Holvey?
I think so. So
He just goes by Holvey.
Well, yeah, he goes by Holvey. I mean, that sounds better than Christopher.
Christopher.
And Holvey's like a clever name. I was wishing I would eventually have the opportunity to like meet up and get a picture with him, because I'd noticed midway through, I'm like, I know somebody working backstage who's also got me backstage at the concert before, but he never saw my Insta messages.
Unreal.
Or he was just ignoring me.
Or both.
He was the former Ghost Runners editor.
Oh.
Justin, shout out.
Soon to be Until Next Week editor.
Yeah, except he's traveling around with Winter Jam, like doing tons of tech stuff.
Unreal.
But I was hoping he would see me and get me backstage and everything else, but he didn't, but it's okay. But yeah, so I mainly wanted to see Holvey, but then I'm like, I got a really good spot. I might as well stick around, because then Matthew West came up there, which I don't know if you know his music.
Yeah.
That well. Like,
but he's super old.
He's like 50s.
Old.
But his music was like the soundtrack of like my high school and like middle school years, because he has like Child of the One True King and like so many other songs that I haven't heard these songs in years, but I'm like, I know every single word. And like, he does put on a good concert. The last time he was in Springfield for Winter Jam, I think was 2015 or 2016. And at that point, I actually got to meet him after the concert and got a pick and stuff. But I'm like, I do want to see him perform, because then, do you know who was the main artist that night?
Forrest Frank.
That would have been awesome. It was Chris Tomlin.
Oh.
And he's never been on Winter Jam. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, now I got to wait for Chris. I can't just leave a second row when I'm already in here.
Where's Chris?
But then it stunk, because Matthew West finished up, and there was another artist in between both of them, which was like some random girl who has some good music, but I don't really care that much. She's also like 4'10". That doesn't make a difference. But like one of the hosts of like the concert, as soon as she finished, she's like, "Yep, we had our 12-year-old just perform for you guys."
That's tough.
She's so short. It's incredible. Like the whole time, I'm like, I can't even pay attention to music. I'm like, how is she that small?
I work with somebody that's 4'10".
Yeah, like, it is insane. She was also dressed like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. But then Chris Tomlin did go up there and put on a great show. He did "Thank You, Lord," which is pretty sweet, which is his song with Thomas Rhett. I'm sure you don't know it?
Nope.
It's really good. You'd probably enjoy it. He did like a random country music album with like tons of country artists like a few years back.
I listened to a couple of those, and I remember...
It's a good album.
It was all right.
I think you would like "Thank You, Lord." Like it is solid. Like, Chris Tomlin is a great performer, but also just has like
great cover artist.
Well, I think he wrote a lot of the songs that he performs. And he also has like some of the biggest Christian hits in history. Like, it's insane.
Christopher.
But yeah, he put on a great show. It was really awesome seeing. Got some pictures. Like, again, being side stage, like he was like a few feet away from me. Was not able to dap him up. I got some pics of him.
Cross is me.
But yeah, overall, just a very solid show. Got in for $15. Good time overall. Did not sneak backstage, so didn't risk getting arrested. Overall, very solid time. I think there's a few more shows left in Winter Jam. So if they're coming to your city in like the next week, check them out.
Check them out.
Yeah.
Because it's winter.
Yeah. Well, technically it's spring.
Oh.
Today's the first day of
Today is
spring,
the first day of spring.
Or maybe it was yesterday.
Happy birthday, spring.
First day. He clicked the wrong button.
Yes, sure did.
Friday was the first day of spring, which was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, because it's like a half day of spring.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know if that's a real thing. Okay. But what about you? Oh, you already did the press release. So
exactly.
I think you were trying to go to Grind Some Gears.
Exactly.
Is that what you were trying to do?
Yes.
I thought you were going for something else. Sorry. So you click that button and then you click this. And that grinds your gears.
The grinding of the gears.
Yeah. We'll grind your gears, Dane.
March Madness. Not being holidays.
Oh, so
yes.
a little bit of March sadness.
So Thursday and Friday should just be holidays. Like, come on now. Like, why are we still...
There's like wild stats out there with like how many lost hours of work there are. So many people.
I'm like,
there was the end of the, I don't know which two teams where it hit the 3 and then the 3 to tie it with no time left. People legitimately yelled in the office.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is like everybody's watching March Madness and they're like kind of working. By kind of, I mean not working.
Yeah, it's insane.
So I'm just like, guys, like we should just make those holidays so that way people can just have those days off and then it's fine.
Yeah.
And nobody's productive on those days. And then also, like, I don't know if you've heard of this before, but like dudes will schedule their vasectomies on these days on that like Wednesday afternoon or like Thursday morning. That way they can take Thursday, Friday off and not have to work and go watch March Madness all the time.
That's insane.
And so all I'm saying is like it's amazing. And then I'm trying to remember.
And then right after the tournament ends, that's when they get it reversed.
Yes.
And then they go snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Well, that way you can use it again for next year.
Yeah. They're like, wait, I thought you got it this last year. Yeah, I regretted it. So I'm doing it again this year. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, and so the perfect March Madness setup, what I had is I have a second monitor now, thanks to Samuel 14434.
You had not told me if it worked yet, so whenever I saw a picture of you using it, I'm like,
yes,
good. I did not know if this would work with your Mac or not.
Oh yeah, it works. I had to buy an adapter, but yeah, and which I need the adapter for a different thing.
Has it been pretty helpful so far?
Yeah,
has it been nice?
I use it all the time.
Watch YouTube.
No, actually, I did watch YouTube, but it was the Bible Project the other day.
That's cool.
Over Ezra, but no, I have like on the big screen right here next to me, I have a game on here, and then I also have my iPad, so then I have a game on right here, and then I have my laptop that I'm just typing on, and then I just look back and forth, and I'm like, okay, cool, and then I just switch to games or whatever. And if I really want another game on, I just pull up my phone and stand that up, and I have all 3 games on right now.
Yeah, I think I've had a 5-screen situation going before at work. Where I had like one side screen and then I was using the other 4 for actual work.
Yeah. And see, we just need those days off. Like, come on, guys. And also the championships and the Final Four. So the Final Four is Saturday, April 4th. Sunday, April 5th is Easter. The championship is Monday, April 6th.
But it's at night.
It is at night.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of championships happening that weekend.
Yeah.
So quite
the biggest one happens on Sunday. Shout out Jesus.
Exactly.
Yes.
Defeating sin and death forever.
Again. Never lost.
Also, I did no social media this week for our Lent, so we're doing it as a church. Samuel did not participate. And so...
Okay, in my defense, 8 a.m. service, which is when I went, they did not say it. So I was like, well, I guess there's nothing for Lent this week. And then all of a sudden, you're texting like, hey, we're doing this. I'm like, can I really believe you? I don't know.
You should believe me.
But yeah, they did not announce it during the 8 a.m. service.
Well, that's Steady Poo's fault, but also because he was definitely supposed to.
Yeah,
because he did all the other ones.
Yeah, but probably he was called out like, "Hey, so you did not help any of these people spiritually this week with Lent. Don't mess up in the 9:30, the 11, or the 5:30."
Guarantee you, somebody pulled him aside and said, "Hey, make sure you say this."
I guarantee that happened because afterwards I was like, "Well, I guess there's nothing this week."
Yeah,
cool.
Don't get me wrong, like if I ever had to like research somebody, I would get on and look at that. I saw something that was important, and so I had to get on Facebook for it. But yeah, so I was mostly not on it. So Jack, that's why I haven't been looking at any of your videos or anybody else's videos.
I don't know if I've sent any videos.
I don't know.
I have a bad habit. Actually, this isn't a bad habit. I'm like, I don't watch the videos that quickly. But I did set a calendar thing that shows up once a week now for me to catch up on all like the videos people have sent me, so I don't get months behind, and that way it's more relevant.
It is more relevant, yeah.
I'm like, I just need to watch them just so I can like at least respond and act like a friend for a brief amount of time.
Friends. But yeah, so that's crazy. Next week is no complaining or venting, just so you know.
Is it actually?
Yes.
Dang it. That's the worst.
It's literally our entire Grinds My Gears segment.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't release until Monday, so it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
means this week
is fine. Next week we'll be like, but Grinds My Gears is how thankful I am.
Yeah. Yeah. we'll see.
What about you?
The main thing that grinds my gears is my forearm giving out each time I decide to help someone move.
Dang it.
Like, just so you know, if you are ever talking to someone and they're like, yeah, I'll move sometime in the future. And I'm like, yeah, just let me know if you need help.
Never say that. Never, ever, ever.
Yeah, because you regret it a few weeks or a couple months later when they're like, hey, so this Saturday, right? You want to help me move? I'm like, dang it. I guess I did say I would help. So I went to help my friend Andrew move. I thought there'd be more people there, and it was just me and him and his girlfriend. Yep. She was mostly advising us as we moved the really heavy stuff.
Or like packing up plates or something.
Yeah, because he was on the second floor and had to go downstairs with a couch and several other very heavy items. He also has one of the biggest TVs I've seen in my life. It's like 90 inches.
And necessary.
That's the only thing I think he really cared about. Luckily, we were able to get in the moving truck okay, and it made it to his new home. But yeah, it was painful near the end because legitimately the last time I helped him move into this apartment, my forearm gave out and I like could not move anything. It just hurt. And then near the end of helping him pack up the truck, my forearm was giving out, and I was like, hey, I need a little break while you guys do whatever. I think that was maybe after we packed up the truck, we got everything out of the truck at his house, but then we had to go back for like one more thing. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to take a break. I went to McDonald's. I got a Big Mac. I got a smoothie, got water. I just tried to fuel up. And then we ended up getting the washer and dryer and everything else. But like, I was in pain.
Easily the worst part about being a guy is like you automatically get volunteered to help people move.
Yeah. Because the guy volunteered kind of the first time, and then I volunteered myself, and then I was like, dang it. But luckily at the end of it, he was like, hey, I'm going to pay you. So he did actually pay me some money as well. And I'm like, okay.
I don't want your money. Well, I want my freedom.
Well, at the end, I'm like, well, I've already done this, so I'll take it. But was still happy-ish to help him, but I was in pain. So
I'll be honest, I'm never happy to help somebody move.
I was happy after the fact and when he gave me money. But yeah.
Making money is always good, though.
Yeah. But yeah, my forearm hurt pretty bad. But that's the main stuff that kind of grinded my gears. You
got a Big Mac.
Yeah.
Yo, it's that time of day, so listen up, because it's time for some sports talk. The segment where we boldly analyze things we barely watched. Did we do research?
Factually, no. Emotionally, yes.
We're talking Big Daddy hacks, devastating sacks, and fourth quarter comebacks. But most importantly,
no soccer.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. We got a lot coming at you, but I got to hit you with the stuff that you don't expect. Because, yeah, you expect March Madness, but you don't expect Paralympic hockey.
Oh, boy.
Because USA beat Canada in the championship.
I didn't know that.
Again. We dominate in Paralympic hockey. They don't have like women's, otherwise we probably would have won that. It's considered like an open sport. But yeah, USA beat Canada, Paralympic hockey. It might have been the first time ever someone has swept all three hockey events at Olympics and Paralympics. So shout out USA. Down goes Canada.
I'm not sure they can show their face in North America again.
Like
it's unreal.
In North America or just like in the United States?
All of it.
Because they are situated in North America. You do understand that, right?
Yeah, they can't show their face as in we own them now.
That is true.
There's no more Canada. There's just America.
The Paralympics was the tiebreaker, which we were ahead 2-0, so it didn't
I don't
even
know how it was the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
We're up 3-0.
Yeah.
Because we beat them in the World Baseball Classic, too.
That is true. And speaking of World Baseball Classic, we don't need to get into it too much. The USA beat the Dominican Republic in the semifinals, which was electric and was expected to be the toughest game.
Yeah.
And then we lost to Venezuela in the finals, and we had to give them their dictator back.
We only had like 2 hits through 7 innings.
It was pathetic.
It just wasn't good.
Yeah, basically the U.S. was down 2-0 for a good portion of the game. Mm-hmm. Got to the bottom of the 8th inning. Finally got some momentum going, got someone on. Bryce Harper came up to bat, and I was driving and had the game on. And I was like, you know, sometimes you just have that feeling. You're like, something's going to happen here.
Oh,
like the
man.
whole time, as soon as he came up, like, he's going to hit a home run.
Well, yeah,
he's going to get a home run.
You just
like,
understand the moment. You're
I'm like,
oh man,
he is literally like USA baseball, like
yeah,
16 years old on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He was
chosen
called
one.
the chosen
Yep.
one. Like he played for like Team USA for other things in the past. And I'm like, he's going to hit a home run, especially after the walk. And I'm like,
oh man,
literally 5 seconds later, maybe 10 seconds later, I don't know,
Boom.
hit a bomb. And I'm like, okay, freedom, American flags,
free bird.
like free bird, everything. He went around, was hyped, threw the bat, saluted people.
Pickup trucks.
I saw a breakdown when he was like rounding third. On one of the sleeves, there's a USA patch, like a flag, and on the other one's like an advertisement. And you saw him going around. He looked to see which one, and at first he saw the ad. And he's like, okay, so
definitely not that one.
And then immediately started pointing at the flag. And I'm like, what if he would have started pointing at the advertisement?
Yeah, give
like
me my money.
random, like Allstate Insurance. Like,
well, hey, and that's one of the most American things you could do. Actually,
yeah, definitely
get your bag.
Capitalism. But I'm like, man, this is awesome. But then they went to the 9th inning, and of course they're like, hey, let's walk the first guy up, who's Luis Arias, who only can hit singles. He has no power, and they walk him. They put in a pinch runner. He steals second, and then give up a run like almost immediately. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't good.
Yeah, leadoff walks. I read this like sabermetric book a long time ago. Leadoff walks score like close to 40% of the time.
Yeah, because I mean, it's crazy. But I'm like, come on. And then I was frustrated because the USA, or just like World Baseball Classic in general, is so frustrating because all these players play for major league teams, and all the teams are like, you only can use my guy in this very specific situation.
Yeah.
And they have one of the best relievers, if not the best reliever in all baseball, Mason Miller.
Oh,
and
they didn't let him pitch?
No. And I'm like, that would have been,
opportunity?
I think that was the situation. I'm like, there's legitimately, there was no chance for him to pitch at that, like for the rest of the game, because they're the home team.
Yeah.
If they take the lead,
we lose.
Like if the USA takes the lead, they win, and there's legitimately no save opportunity after the 8th inning.
Is the home team.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you.
So after the 8th inning finish, if you're not going to put him in the 9th, there's never a save opportunity.
Yeah,
and I'm
true.
like, I hate it.
We'd have to walk it off. Yeah.
Like, that would have been the perfect time. Throw him in the 9th.
Yeah.
And then see if you can take the lead in the bottom of the 9th. If not, the Venezuela has a very weak bullpen. There's a better chance you maybe win the 10th, and you throw out your guys in the 10th. And I'm like, no, let's just put in this other guy, and then who's a good pitcher, but not nearly as good as Mason Miller, who I saw a stat has not given up a base hit since September. like batters, I think, are 0 for their last 50 against him,
which is great.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, keep him on the bench. He will definitely tear every muscle in his body if he throws 3 outs,
dude. DeRosa, the manager, Mark DeRosa, he should be getting a lot of flack.
Well, I mean, yes, but at the same time, also these teams are like, you only can use my player in this very specific situation, are also frustrating. But at the same time, he's not the reason Aaron Judge is striking out, not getting on base. All these other guys can't get a hit to save their life. Like, their offense looked pathetic.
Even Bryce Harper, I saw his stats. He's hitting like 194.
I'm like, come on, guys. You should be able to hit.
We are America.
Yeah, it was very disappointing. So another year, another disappointment for the World Baseball Classic for the USA. Lost to Japan, lost to Venezuela.
Ugh.
I don't know who we're going to lose against next.
We'll never lose again.
Yeah, but that's the World Baseball Classic talk. Just another couple quick hits. Justin Fields.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest quarterback alive. Is now the backup in Kansas City. So hopefully he takes Patrick Mahomes' job.
True.
That would be pretty sweet.
I do think that's a good deal for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because they gave up almost nothing, and the Jets are paying most of his salary.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good situation for him to get some potential reps, learn something, and then maybe get a contract in the future. I think that's about it for me for the time being, because you have some sports talk as well. I'll let you do that, and then I have a voice memo to play.
Nice. So I have my work bracket for March Madness. So in my work bracket, I'm currently ranked 11th of like 25 people or something like that. And so my final 4 goes like this. I have Duke coming out of one of the regions to play Houston in the final 4. On the other side of the bracket, I have Gonzaga versus Michigan. And so all those are still alive after the first round, praise the Lord. And then let's see here. Did I have any big upsets? I had Nebraska going a good ways.
So how many games did you get incorrect?
I've gotten a few incorrect so far. Like more than...
you have more than a few.
I correctly picked High Point to beat Wisconsin, though.
Yeah, that one was frustrating.
Because you are Wisconsin.
Yeah. So the upsets that I had, because currently I'm one of the top brackets in the nation.
Really?
Which is kind of a plus. I only missed 4 games in the first 32.
Oh, dang.
The games I got wrong, I thought St. Mary's would beat Texas A&M because they were the higher seed. They did not. I did pick VCU over North Carolina.
Nice.
Because North Carolina I saw had a big injury, and I'm like, there's a chance I could get upset.
I have 7 wrong.
The other game, I picked Iowa over Clemson, which was 9/8, which happened. Also, let's see. See if there's any other upset. I had TCU over Ohio State, another 9/8.
Nice.
And then on the other side, I got the Villanova game wrong. I thought they would beat Utah State. Again, 8 and 9 seeds.
Yep.
I got the Wisconsin game wrong because it was a 5 and a 12. I correctly picked Texas over BYU because I thought BYU, again, had some injuries. That's 11/6. So I had 2 big upsets.
I picked BYU because they have a top 3 pick in the draft.
I think he's the one who's injured, isn't
AJ
he?
DeBanza.
There was one guy who was injured who's like
so.
one of their big players. I don't know who it was. But I'm like, there's a chance I could get upset, plus they're Mormon.
Which this is the Mormon episode of the pod.
Yeah. And then I also picked SLU over Georgia, and they destroyed them. Again, 9/8. So I picked 3 correct of the 9 and 8 games, only 1 incorrect in that situation. I picked Akron over Texas Tech. That didn't work. Texas Tech, again, another team, had injuries. I thought maybe another 12/5. If that would have happened, I would legitimately, like, my bracket would be so stinking elite.
Oh, man.
And that's about it. So currently, the only game that I have wrong going into this next round automatically was I did have Wisconsin going to the Sweet 16.
Yes.
But that's the only team in the Sweet 16 I have incorrect at this point.
Yeah.
My Final Four, I have Florida, Illinois, Michigan, and Iowa State.
Illinois, huh? They take down Duke?
I don't think Duke almost lost in the first round.
They did.
And that was another one where I'm like, oh, I have Kansas beating Duke. Because Duke, again, it was another team who has like a major injury. And people, I don't think, realize this. And like so many people pick Duke to win. I'm like, does anyone do any kind of research whatsoever? No one does.
You just get on the app and hit info, and you're like, all right, this team.
So I have Kansas being St. John's, a 4/5, and then I have Duke being TCU, and then I have KU over Duke. So Duke, I have losing in the Sweet 16.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Some of the people in my...
and again, they almost lost to the 16 seed.
As they should.
Yeah. So that was making me feel pretty good about my prediction here in 2 weeks. Or a week.
It's hilarious. I love hearing the rationales behind people like picking brackets, because one girl at my work goes, I'm just picking the cutest mascots, and she has Mizzou winning the whole thing.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
I think they lost yesterday.
They did. Yeah. They lost against Miami. I guessed that.
First round. But then this other girl who made me more mad whenever she goes, what's March Madness? Like, she goes, I've never heard of this before. She ChatGPT'd what March Madness was.
Yeah.
I was like, it's one thing if you say, oh, I'm not into basketball. Okay, sure.
You should at least know what March Madness is.
Yeah. And she's not like 20 years old. And so she was like, my-ish age. I don't know how old she is, actually. Yeah. And I'm like, there's no way. And she's married. And I'm like, there's no way you've never heard of March Madness.
That's insane.
I don't understand how you're like, I've never heard of this before.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably the most research I've ever done. Like, I didn't do a ton, but I initially was like, okay, I'm going to pick basically all the higher seeds, like better seeds over the lower seeds. Besides on some of the 9 and 8s, I just kind of was like, I kind of feel that's kind of what I done those. I'm like, I kind of feel these teams will win, like the 9s, and then Villanova. I'm like, I don't think Utah State. I've never really heard of them. I thought Villanova would win that one.
That's what I thought too.
But then I did a search. I'm like, okay, who is most likely to be upset due to injuries?
Yes,
and that's when I learned about Duke, which I still had them win the first game. I have them losing pretty early. That's when I also learned about...
They should be able to beat the 16 seed.
Yeah. So that was one team I learned about. I learned about North Carolina, which is why I picked that upset, which I would have never have done in the past. I always have North Carolina at least winning 1 or 2 games.
Blue blood.
That's why I also picked... Let's see. Texas Tech. That's why I thought they would lose, because I said an injury. Got that one wrong. And then also, I'm trying to see if there's any other teams. BYU, and that's why I picked Texas. So by looking up the injuries, I was able to get 2 major upsets and another one that almost happened with Duke, which is me a little bit later. And I don't know. So currently, I'm in a bracket with Dude Perfect, because they have a podcast and they're like, hey, if you join our group and you win, then you get like tickets to our tour and everything else,
which would be great.
Currently, there's 700 plus people in that bracket. I'm currently tied for 9th place because I've only got 4 games wrong. The leading team has 300 points, and they're in the 99.9th percentile. I have 280 points. I'm in the 99th percentile. It'll ultimately come down to who wins it all. And I have Florida winning it all. If Florida wins it all,
Florida,
I legitimately think I'll win this bracket. So it comes down to the end, like
the
always.
end. Like always.
Yeah. So yeah, and then also my women's bracket's currently perfect. Shout out.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever filled out a women's bracket.
I have not.
Just pick the higher seeds.
Nice.
You'll do pretty good. You'll do pretty good. I think I picked like a little bit later in the bracket. I'm like, okay, this team is like a 5 seed. I'll pick them over like a 4 seed.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
a coin flip.
the hardest part is at the end when you have all number 1 seeds in the final 4.
The usual.
You just have to. One's kind of a coin flip. The other one, UConn, is undefeated this year, so I have them winning it all. But yeah, I'm currently tied for number 1 in the nation.
Nice.
I'm 16 for 16 so far. We'll see how that goes. I'm one of 675,000 perfect brackets remaining.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
After the first day.
It's so easy to predict, I guess.
Yeah, it is. So we'll see. Maybe I'll become the first person ever to get a perfect bracket for women.
Is there not been one for them either?
I think there was one person who was like 1 game short.
Wow.
Like I think they picked one wrong like Sweet 16 game or something.
Man.
But they were like 63 for 64 in picks or something insane. I don't know how many picks end up being in the tournament.
But yeah. That's crazy.
It really is. But that's our I guess that's all our sports talk, right?
Well, I have one thing about the Ravens here.
Okay, yeah.
So the Ravens, the Max Crosby trade fell through, right?
Yeah.
And I finally was able to listen to a podcast this past week, and I was listening to one where they're like, hey, it fell through. And they're like, and here's the thing. It's not passing the sniff test for us because they're like, because all the physicals that teams do are subjective. You can make it whatever parameters you want.
Yeah.
It's not like a standard physical. It's whatever.
You're not jumping 48 inches, you're out.
Right, exactly. You could fail them technically for that reason. And it's always like in the agreement, it always says pending physical. And so the team will bring them in. And so everybody's like, we think they had buyer's remorse where they give up 2 first-round picks. And what they're hypothesizing is Trey Hendricks says to them, hey, I would love to come to, what's it called? The place, the Ravens.
Baltimore.
And so you guys don't have to give up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. I'll come for just the money, and you can keep.
It did happen pretty quickly afterwards.
Yes, like the very next day he signs, and so that falls apart. And then the Ravens, what they did that the whole league is like really hating them for right now is they come out and say, yeah, he failed the physical because it really screws the Raiders. Because
because now there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, and I feel like there should be like something in place where if a team does that to someone else, like you can mess up someone pretty bad.
Well, it kind of does because now the Raiders, there's no shot they're getting 2 firsts for Crosby now because everybody's like, oh, he failed the physical. He's clearly not healthy, but we'll give you a 2nd-round pick. Yeah.
There should be. I don't know if that can be like an investigation or something. Like that's insane. Like you mess up a team.
Yeah, because now every other team is using that as leverage to why they won't give up top-tier picks.
They should be required to specify what quote unquote failed.
Right.
Like what actually failed.
Well, they said it was the knee, but it was also like, okay, you had this information to begin with. Like there's no way like he comes into your guys' like place and you're just like, oh, we just discovered that he has a knee problem. No, like this has been like common information.
Yeah.
I think they made the trade, found out about Trey Hendrickson. They were like, wait, we could keep our first and try to trade for somebody different, or we could just draft guys to help supplement on whatever side of the ball.
Yeah, there needs to be something in place.
Yeah.
Like that you have to like, I don't know. That's stupid. That really is.
Last thing is I bought a new book called American Kings.
Yeah.
And it's all about the NFL quarterback and how it's the closest thing to royalty that we have in the United States. And
that's insane.
It's actually really fascinating so far because it talks about
closer to royalty than politicians.
Yes. And,
okay.
And the way they're treated and the way they act and how cool they are.
That is, they are pretty cool.
Because being a politician is not cool.
That is true.
But being the quarterback is so cool, and from an early age is cool, and everybody.
It is kind of like like the kings and queens, like they. Yeah.
Well, they reference like the Mannings because like Arch Manning, like if he wasn't a Manning, he would be like an average, like pretty decent quarterback in college. But he's like the guy in Texas because he's a Manning, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And so
Just imagine if Brady's kids have any athletic ability
Oh
someday.
my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, you're a Brady. Oh, this is amazing. And
That
so,
is the
yeah.
royalty thing with the Mannings is actually really accurate.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of insane.
And so I started reading. I'm like, this is making a lot of sense. And like, I'm reading the intro. He's like meeting like these quarterbacks, and he met like a very average, middle of the road quarterback in the '80s. And he just Seth Wickersham is the guy who wrote the book, and he talks about how he was just like dumbfounded because it's an average quarterback, but he's like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, this is amazing. And so
Yeah.
it's just fascinating to me.
That actually is pretty cool. You should, if you read it all, you should let us know how it goes, because I still didn't know you knew how to read.
I can't.
Yeah, we could tell
I'll
from
let you
your,
know in
from,
2 years
from
when
your
I finish it.
memo you read at the beginning of the episode. You were struggling a little bit.
I had extra help when I was younger.
Yeah.
Okay, we've officially thrown the script out the window. It's time for the main segment. And honestly, who knows where this is going? We don't. You don't.
God does.
But he's not telling.
Welcome back to the Sweet 16 of
Wow.
Jake's March Madness.
Sweet 16, how sweet it is.
It is sweet, man. Shout out to Jake and his new name that's going to come soon.
Wow.
Um,
Next week, stay tuned for the Elite Eight.
It's going to be great.
Wow.
It's going to be quick, and the matchups will only get better week after week.
Yes.
I think we just get into it.
Yeah, we should have 8 matchups today.
Yeah, that is how the math works.
I'm good at math.
First up, we got number 16, Jake in the box, versus a number 5, Judge Judy Jake.
Wow. So Jake in the box, and then Judge Judy Jake.
Yeah, you got 4 words versus 3 words. You got the alliteration with Judge Judy Jake.
Yes.
2 names as well, but then you got Jake in the box. Like,
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a package deal. You know what you're getting with Jake
with
in the box.
Yeah, it's a package.
Yeah, you get a drink with the meal.
Yeah, you got Jake in the box.
But this is a special team here.
Yeah.
Judge Judy Jake is a special
You
team.
got the triple J's.
You got the triple J's. You can call them triple. There's nicknames off the nickname.
Yeah.
You call them Triple J
Yeah.
for Judge Judy Jake. And so it's like they're a special team in this tournament. I love it. Jake in the Box is a solid team, but it's like we're in the Sweet 16, and this team is still blowing out teams.
Yeah, and which one do you really think Jake would prefer? I think he would want Jake in the box. And
Yes.
we're like, no, we don't get what he prefers.
Yes.
He gets what we want.
Yeah. And so I think it's a unanimous selection from everybody across America.
I think Judge Judy Jake is
Judge
the winner.
Judy Jake clearly goes on to the Elite Eight.
Jake in the box.
Wow.
The 16 seed made a run, but the Cinderella story is over.
It is over.
Next up, we got a 6 seed versus a 7 seed. Ah,
Dang it.
6 is Jake, not the cute one,
Every week that gets me.
versus Jelly Belly Jake.
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure I know which one I want here.
I know which one I want, and I think it gets you. Even said it there, like
Yeah.
it gets me each week. Like Jake, not the cute one.
It's like we clearly remember that's one of the names,
Yeah.
but it still gets us.
Yeah, and like Jelly Belly Jake, like there's other ones about his weight later on in here.
Well, the only plus to Jelly Belly Jake is that it rhymes, and which is nice, and we like a good
Well,
rhyme.
Jelly and Belly rhyme, not the Jake part.
Jelly Belly Jaylee.
Yeah, you got Jelly Belly Jake or Jake, not the cute one. You got to have the pause. The pause works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, for those reasons, is that the 6 seed or the 7 seed?
That's the 6 seed.
Okay, the 6 seed. I mean, it's got to go on to the Elite Eight. Jake, not
Yeah.
the cute one,
Yeah.
will be facing the Buzzsaw in the next round.
This is a good time.
And so, yeah, we're going to go Jake, not the cute
I
one.
realize a lot of these are about Jake's weight. Because next up we have a number 1 seed, Jiggly Jake. There we go.
Not
Versus
Jiggly Jake.
13, Menopause Jake.
Ooh, this is tough. So,
Personally, I just
Yes.
want to get this out here.
yes.
I think the menopause maybe has to come to an end.
Mm.
I think we got to take a pause on menopause and get Jiggly Jake through.
Oh, man.
You got the double, you got the alliteration, you got the JJ.
It's jiggly.
Like JJ is important and just like jiggly. Like
Yeah, so
what more encompasses Jake than jiggliness? I don't think he's gonna go through menopause.
he
I don't know. We'll have to wait.
and that's what makes me want to put it on to the next round.
that's why I understand. And like either way, like it has to get eliminated at some point. But do we eliminate menopause now and focus on the jiggliness, or does menopause make the upset?
Clip that one too, Jack. Do we eliminate the menopause now and focus on the jiggliness? I want that to be a quote.
Yeah. What are your thoughts here?
Like, I don't know. I just think Metapause Jake is super funny,
Yeah.
but then Jiggly Jake, it is an alliteration. It does talk about his wig. I think Jake would like Jiggly Jake as his nickname is the problem. However, like I think it's more on brand, and because Metapause Jake is just kind of like it's a streaky player.
And then the issue is like he would want the other alliterations of the name.
Yeah,
with Menopause Jake, because you cut it down, MJ. He's not the greatest of all time.
He's not, but is he JJ? He probably is JJ and Jiggly Jake. And so I don't feel passionate about Metapause Jake either way because I think they're going to lose, like you say. So, I mean, we can go with Jiggly Jake to the Elite Eight.
You're good with Jiggly
Jake? I'm good with going
Jiggly
Jake.
Jiggly Jake, number 1 seed.
To the Elite Eight.
Through. Next up, this will be a little interesting because then we'll have 2 heavy hitters going next week.
Oh, man.
This will be the one who goes against Jiggly Jake.
Wow.
We got number 14, T. Jake Max.
Oh, man.
Versus number 10, Jumbo Jake.
Jumbo Jake.
We could have 2 fat shaming names go against each other next week.
That would guarantee one in the Final Four.
Yeah, we could have one fat name for Jake going to the Final Four if we pick Jumbo Jake.
Jumbo Jake.
Or T. Jake Max. Like, I like it. It's clever. But is it really what we want him to be known by? Do we want him to be known as someone who gets good deals on quality attire?
I don't know. I just love TJ Maxx, and so
you really do.
Yeah. So then T Jake Maxx, it's like it kind of makes sense, and it's the only one that's using like a different like out there like slogan or different like department store out there that we're like partnering with Jake's name here.
Yeah.
And so
and that could leave us open for maybe making a deal with TJ Maxx in the future.
That would be hilarious if we get sponsored by TJ Maxx. It would be like, what?
Yeah. We don't let Jake get any of it. It's all us.
That's true. So now, do we go with the potential future earnings here?
that is a good point.
Because we definitely are not going to get one from Jumbo who? Like Jumbo popcorn shrimp?
I kind of would like that deal. I like some Jumbo shrimp.
Don't get me wrong. I would love some Jumbo shrimp, but it's, I don't know. It's coin flip to me. I think...
I'll let you choose this one because I definitely made you go towards Jiggly Jake.
Well, Jiggly Jake's still a good one, and so things like that. I don't know. I like T Jake Max better.
You think so? Then we have a 14 seed going through. This is the only 14 seed left.
Yeah, I think it's more creative too. Jumbo Jake, the only thing it is the like about his weight one, but then it's also the alliteration, and so. I don't know. I like the T Jake Max.
Okay, we'll go with T Jake Max, number 14, knocking off Jumbo Jake.
It's also different. We don't have anything like that.
That is true.
In the bracket.
Okay. Next up, we got our number 1 seed, Junk Mail Jake, versus number 13, Janky Leg Jake.
Oh, I think this might be a blowout.
I think it has to be Janky Leg.
It's got to be Janky Leg Jake.
He likes the Janky Leg too because if that gets picked for his winner, he would just immediately go into the Stanky Leg.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, Jake, stop.
What was the other one?
Junk Mail Jake.
Junk Mail Jake, solid, fundamental.
Yeah,
like
something you don't want to deal with. Kind of annoying around you, and that also represents him.
It does.
It does really well, but at the same time, like the Janky Leg is just clever.
Janky Leg is so
you go JLJ.
It's spunky. It's it's hot off the bench. It's not. Junk Mail Jake it's solid. It plays a 2-3 zone. It's really like. It dribbles the ball. It never makes a mistake, which is good. We like that.
And I also like how these comparisons are going JMJ.
Yeah, JMJ.
Junk Mail Jake or JLJ, Janky Leg Jake.
Yeah.
But again, similar, like it goes JMJ. We can't let him be associated with Michael Jordan here. We got to take him to the Janky Leg Jake.
Yeah, Janky Leg JLJ. Yeah. So I think it's Janky Leg, Janky Leg Jake.
13 seed knocks off number 1. Got 3 more matches coming up.
Cinderella.
This one, again, I think will be an easy one. Number 6 seed, DJ Jazzy Jake versus number 10, Judgmental Jake.
Wow. I mean, it's perennial powerhouse here. They're number 1 every year for a reason. It's like
they were the 10 seed.
Yeah, they're Duke. It's Duke. This is North Carolina. This is Kansas. This is Villanova. This is Gonzaga. It's Judgmental Jake. On to the Elite Eight.
Shout out. Next up, we got Jingle Bells Jake, number 1 versus number 12, Jeopardy Jake.
I'm feeling Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells. I think, again, that's another easy number 1 to put through.
We can come out with an album with that. Like, you can't with, what was
Jeopardy Jake.
With
Jeopardy Jake. We would have to get him on the TV show.
We'd have to play Jeopardy with him.
That's some fun.
No, we can't do that.
And then finally, I like this one. Number 11, we got Jock Strap Jake.
Oh, man.
versus number 15, Juicy Jake.
Oh. And this is our matchup of the day right here.
Yeah.
This is the one they've all been looking
for. This button right here.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. This is our matchup of the day.
Yeah,
And
both great. Like if I could
Gosh.
mix them together like juicy jockstrap Jake, that would be great.
oh my goodness. Clip that one too. Oh my goodness.
Ew.
Okay, here it's like splitting hairs. It's like picking between your favorite child right here, which
Which is pretty easy.
all of you at home that have
Lindsay.
children, we know you guys have a favorite child.
Yeah.
Don't tell them. So this is like picking your favorite child. Here's what does it for me.
Yeah.
You sit here and you say Juicy Jake.
Yeah.
Jake would love for that to be his nickname.
Oh yeah, juicy leg. If that somehow went
Juicy
against
leg is
janky leg
crazy.
later, like he'd be like, I love these both.
Yeah.
I love them.
He would love to be called Juicy Jake. He calls himself Juicy.
Oh,
And
we can't have a self-proclaimed name.
That's what I'm saying. He likes to say that he's like #thickness. And so
oh no, we can't. We can't like further
Right.
inspire him.
he would
do
love
that.
to be called Juicy. He'd be like, yeah, thank you for noticing that. Because remember, it was originally Jake's Body Shop.
Well,
And so
and then also last week, we let Juicy Jake take down Jewish Jake,
that's true.
and we can't. Yeah.
And so Jockstrap Jake, it's like, oh, come on now. And we could partner with like a sporting goods store
Yeah,
with that too.
jockstraps.
Yeah,
Dicks, sporting goods. I got him.
Man, I just know this week Jack is just going to be like just cracking up the entire episode with everything that Samuel's saying.
I am on something, I guess.
This is the Mormon episode.
I guess going to Winter Jam, seeing Chris Tomlin did something to me. You think it would have been better?
That's
Maybe I
crazy.
should have locked in a little bit.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, this is the episode that goes off. Please share it with your friends. Don't share it with your employers.
Don't share it with your employers. Don't share it with our employers for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So it's splitting hairs. It's picking your favorite child. I'm feeling jockstrap Jake too.
You're feeling jockstrap Jake?
I'm not feeling it
Yeah.
in a literal sense. In a
Yeah.
metaphorical sense, I'm feeling jockstrap Jake.
Okay, that's good. Dane is feeling jockstrap Jake.
Oh
Okay,
man,
got it.
On to the Elite Eight, and we love it.
Okay, the lead eight. Just so you know, we got a number 5 seed Judge Judy Jake who will go up against the number 6 Jake, not the cute one.
Oh,
next week.
that's tough.
We got a number 1 Jiggly Jake going against the T Jake Max.
Wow.
which is the 14.
Yeah.
We got a 13 seed Janky Leg Jake going against the number 10 Judgmental Jake.
Wow.
We got a number 1 seed Jingle Bells Jake going against number 11 Jockstrap Jake. We got some good ones in for
my
you next
goodness.
week. Make sure to throw in the comments what your preferred choice is.
Man.
If your name's Keenan, we might not choose it.
That is next week. You have to come back next week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That all of those matchups are legitimately really hard. We might have a 25-minute breakdown for
Man,
each.
we should have
one.
had someone fill out. We should have had people fill out brackets.
We should have printed
before all
brackets for
this.
people.
and we could have upset them. Like, who's going to
Oh my
win?
goodness.
But we would have had to make sure that no one shared the brackets with us.
Yes.
That could have been pretty elite.
Oh man, that would have
Hey,
been. And then given like a $5 gift card prize.
No.
Okay, a free shirt.
Maybe a shirt. Yeah. I almost met up with Keenan this past week, but he wasn't home when I stopped by his place, so
Oh,
I grabbed
no.
a snack and left.
Keenan, figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out here in the future.
Wow.
But yeah, that was our main segment, which means it is time for
It
something.
makes me feel manifesty.
That, yeah. Dane's
Welcome back
manifesto.
to part 110 of Dane's manifesto, which ironically, that's how old Lindsay's turning this week, 110 years old.
Yeah.
And so I thought that it would only be appropriate that on Lindsay's birth week, we tell our favorite stories of Lindsay. And so I have a top 3.
There's not many to choose from.
There's not many to choose from. I think I might go 3-1 here because I think it gets progressively better as we go here.
Yep.
So number 3, Daniel and Lindsay getting back together.
Shout out.
So Lindsay
You
and
did it
Daniel,
for Shepard. We're happy.
You did do it for Shepard. And so Lindsay and Daniel, they took a brief hiatus and then they figured out their differences and then they got back together. And while they were separated, here's the thing. Daniel was friends.
And this is when they were dating. Just
Yeah,
wanna
when they were
okay,
dating.
good,
They
good,
have
good.
not broken up. Late
They
in marriage.
are
Yeah, don't do that.
Amazing. They're awesome.
And so when they were dating, though, they took a brief hiatus. And then Lindsay would come over to my house all the time back in this day. This was around COVID times. We were younger or whatever.
Yep.
And so then Daniel was also friends with everybody in my house. And so then Daniel was coming over one night and Lindsay goes, I want to come over. And I said,
Are you sure about that?
I don't think you should. And then she's like, why? And I was like, well, Daniel's coming over. And she goes, it'll be fine. And I was like, Lindsay, girl. Girl.
You know what will happen.
Which-
You'll get married.
Exactly, which was foreshadowing
Yeah.
to them like getting married, because clearly Lindsay still had feelings in that moment. Clearly Daniel was like, I want to marry Dane's sister so I could be Dane's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And so like there was some feelings there. And then also, side note, Lindsay's friend caught wind of I was, quote, allowing Daniel to come over to my house, and she was all like,
allowing.
yeah, whatever. And
He was already going there first.
that's what I was saying. I'm like, so you want me just to forbid his friendships with people? And
Yeah,
so-
because you guys broke up, it doesn't mean you can't still be friends.
That
Similar
too.
to like when you break up, like
Yes.
you still be friends with the person's parents.
yeah, well,
Like hang out, go to their house, just make sure they're not there.
exactly, steal their stuff. But I texted this friend. I said, hey, when Jesus gives up on Daniel, that's when I'll give up on Daniel.
Yeah.
And so ipso facto, they got married because of that. And so
Because of you.
because of me, and
Yeah.
also I set them up too. And so here we are, long time later.
You couldn't take that L. You're like,
can't,
yeah,
yeah.
You shouldn't come over, but you should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so they have a child now, Shepherd. That's a good story too. And
You're
so,
the reason for Shepherd.
I don't know about that, but also, yeah. And so that's number 3. Number 2, Daniel being allergic to Lindsay's cats. And
That is
so
a good one. That
so-
really is.
They are seriously dating at this one point, and then Lindsay starts to say, "Hey, listen, if you're thinking about locking this down, the cats are a package deal."
Yeah.
And so he
Cat's
goes,
out of the bag.
"The cats are out of the bag." And he's like, listen, I'm allergic to cats. And Lindsay says, that's a state of mind. Allergies are a state of mind.
Yeah, I guess that's not right.
And then
but okay.
makes him get allergy tested. Turns out he's more allergic than they thought to cats and dogs and grass.
He almost died.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then Lindsay, upon learning this information that he's like pretty allergic to cats, goes, listen, you just need to suck it up if you want to get married. And so and so he does. And so they still have the cats. And so the Schmau and the Millie are still like their cats. And here's the thing about the Schmau.
Yeah.
It's an ex-boyfriend's cat. So-
I forget about that.
Yes.
That is insane.
One of Lindsay's previous ex-boyfriends gave Lindsay this cat.
As a going away gift, it's like, hey, we're breaking up. Here's this cat.
Here's this cat. No, it wasn't going away gift, but it gives Lindsay this cat, and so now Daniel has to raise this illegitimate child of
We've talked about
Lindsay's.
that. That's insane. That's insane.
And she forces
Daniel,
him to do
you
that
are one of a kind.
while
let me
being
tell you.
allergic to it too. And then Lindsay doubles down and gets another cat too. So
Just have another child.
Man.
Do that.
Yeah,
change
do
out
that.
change out the cats.
Man.
And get more kids.
oh yeah, exactly.
We can have
Change up-
Shepherd 2.
Shepherd 2.0. That's what you should name your
Yeah.
next kid.
Yeah.
And so the last story to celebrate Lindsay's birthday is when she peed in my shower. So
Tony, why are we sharing this? You're insane.
what do you mean? Okay. Truth be told, that's crazy.
Why would you say that?
Okay, fine. Lindsay's gonna get on here and just dispel it, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, I peed in Lindsay's shower.
Okay, there we go. There we go. This is
So
yeah,
when Lindsay,
I should expect all of this from you.
so when Lindsay was running cross country in high school, she would in the summertime run super early in the morning because that's when it wasn't hot.
Yeah.
And so they get up at 4 a.m. go run, then they come back, and then she would sleep again until like 11 or something like that. And so I would wake up during this time and be like, I'm bored. Lindsay, you need to wake up. And so I went into her room this one particular day. I turn on the lights and I go, wake up. And then I take her laundry basket and I dump out all the clothes. It was super full, a really tall laundry basket. And then I kick the clothes across the floor. And I'm like, wake up. And then I turn on her bathroom light and everything like that, and then I had to pee. So then I peed in her shower, and
The toilet.
yeah, the toilet was right there. And I was like, no, I need to pee in her shower. And then I peed in her shower, didn't run the water, and walked out.
You are nasty.
What do you
That
mean?
is what do you mean? What do you mean? The poll this week is Dane nasty? There we go. That's the poll. Is Dane nasty? Yes or yes? You know the answer.
On normal weeks, that would be the wildest comment you made on the pod, but
Yeah.
that's like number 5 this week.
Yeah.
But
wow.
yeah, so I peed in her shower and then left, and then obviously that's been like the tone setter for our like siblingship this entire life, and is that I pee in her shower. And so
That's insane.
so what I'm saying is Lindsay is now turning 110 this week, and I can't wait until she moves back to Springfield. That was part 110 of Dane's Manifesto.
And now it's time for Samuel's Little No Facts.
Sam's little known facts, out of the box and off the tracks. Oddball genius that knows about tax. Sam's little known facts, and he never listens to Jack.
Welcome back to part 54 of Samuel's Little Known Facts in honor of the great Chuck Norris, who passed away this past week.
Rest in peace.
I decided to find some little known facts about that man. And he was a man. That was not one of the facts, though.
Oh.
Number one, he fought real crime while filming Walker, Texas Ranger.
Wow.
Chuck wasn't just a TV ranger in 1997 while he was living in Texas for the show. He served as a reserve officer with the Terrell Police Department.
What?
He didn't just sit behind a desk. He actually participated in a massive multi-agency drug raid that took down 3 cocaine distribution rings and resulted in 67 arrests. Just so you know, I did
67?
Yeah. Just so you know, I did not fact check any of these, but I believe they're true.
That's crazy.
Number 2, he had to gain 20 pounds to fight Bruce Lee in the legendary film The Way of the Dragon. Producers were worried that Chuck, a world-class athlete at the time, looked too fit and small next to Bruce Lee. To make the fight look like a David versus Goliath battle, they forced Chuck to gain 20 pounds of fat and muscle. He later joked that he was so heavy he could barely do his signature jump kicks during the shoot.
Oh, no.
Number 3, he wasn't born as Chuck. The name Chuck didn't exist until he joined the U.S. Air Force in 1958. Born Carlos Ray Norris. He was given the nickname by a fellow airman during basic training. He liked it so much he kept it for the rest of his life, transforming from a shy kid named Carlos into the global icon known as Chuck. Number 4, his students were a who's who of Hollywood. Before he was a movie star, Norris was the most sought-after karate instructor in the world. His personal student list included Steve McQueen, Priscilla Presley, and even Bob Barker, who went to Drury University in Springfield, Missouri.
Hey, Bob Barker, legend.
Yeah, Price is Right. In fact, it was Steve McQueen who finally convinced a reluctant Chuck to try acting, telling him, if you can't do anything else, you can always go back to teaching karate.
That's true.
And number 5, he is an honorary everything.
Yes.
Governments and military branches have treated him like a real-life superhero. He was named an honorary Texas Ranger by Governor Rick Perry in 2010, an honorary U.S. Marine in 2007, and he even received the Veteran of the Year award from the Air Force.
What the heck?
Most people get these titles for PR. Chuck got them because the actual Rangers and Marines considered him one of their own.
Wow.
Shout out Chuck Norris. You're a hero to us all.
A legend. That's crazy.
Thank you, Chuck Norris. Shout out Dodgeball.
Yeah. Oh, that was. I remember that at the end of Dodgeball.
Because he was the third judge.
Yeah, and he just gives the thumbs up.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
I can't believe how much money they probably paid for him just to do a thumbs up.
And it was the most iconic scene of the entire movie.
Well, it's like
very meme worthy before memes were a thing.
Imagine getting that phone call. Hey, I need you to come onto this movie and just give a thumbs up, and we'll give you $10 million.
He's probably.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But true legend. Sad that he passed.
Yeah.
Very quick. I think that kind of happened, but still legend. So watch some Walker, Texas Ranger this week, or some Dodgeball if you can.
In honor
of Chuck Norris. So now it's time for Jokes with Jack.
The worst part.
And now it's time for Jokes with Jack.
We're back with part 107 of Jokes with Jack. I don't know why you keep letting me do this. What's worse than a box full of snakes?
Nothing.
A box that was supposed to be full of snakes.
That's a good point.
And now it's time for...
So Jack's jokes suck.
Yeah, he did point out the joke was mid.
That was a top 5 joke that he's ever made. Like... I agree that's top 5.
It was a good point.
Yes.
You want informative jokes.
That's the only thing that I ever felt good about. Like, other than, I can't remember what he said that made me crack up.
He had a couple in there that he's been better like the past couple weeks, or not past couple weeks, past like
never
few months. He's had some good ones.
I think that's the number 3 joke he's ever told.
Shout out Jack.
And I love that. I hate snakes.
I also was supposed to play this voice memo during sports talk, but he had some extra thoughts about March Madness. It's only 11 seconds, so who knows what he's about to say.
I get your pain, Dane. I really do. The Wisconsin Badgers let me down every single year in the tournament. It's like the Cowboys.
Dane chuckled.
I don't understand. Like, what is Dane's pain?
I think he's just saying that you're a Cowboys fan and you're always let down. He's always let down by the Badgers, which I was as well, because this year lost in the first round.
Is he a Wisconsin fan?
Last year missed the tournament. He's also a Brewers fan and stuff. And I think I'm pretty sure Packers as well. I always get a little confused there. And then the year before, lost in the first round. They're always a disappointment, except for like 2012, 2013, 2014, somewhere in there.
To the Final Four.
When they have Frank Kaminsky and Sam Decker, and just an elite team, and should have won against Duke. But the refs are like, we like Duke better, so we're going to call some bad calls in the last minute, so that way you lose when you're obviously the better team. I was so frustrated.
Weren't you guys like a 4 seed that year?
We might have been a 1 seed.
I don't remember.
Like, they were so good. Frank
remember that
Kaminsky,
team,
a
though,
7-footer who's hitting threes like nobody's business.
That was crazy. That was before 7-footers did that too.
Yeah, oh man, that team was so fun to watch. That was the last time I knew who college basketball players were.
I think peak high school, like when you're growing up, sports wise, it's between the ages of 10 to 18. Those are your peak sports years in your entire life.
Yeah.
Because after that, you get to college, you get busy, then you have kids, family, all that stuff. And then it's you still love sports. You just can't watch it the way you used to.
Well, also for me, it was really starting around age 9, because that's when the Cardinals first won the World Series in 2006 for me. But and then again in 2011 when I'm 14, and then this high school, you're so ingrained in everything. Also 2011, that's when the Packers won the Super Bowl. I'm like, man, all these teams that I like are winning.
That's why when you see your parents and they're always like, oh, this guy's good, but he wasn't like so-and-so.
Yeah,
it's because when you were watching it, you were a kid who's impressionable, and you're like, this guy's amazing. That's why Tony Romo's the GOAT.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of that documentary, Everybody Hates Christian Laettner, or Lautner, or whatever.
I hate Christian Laettner. Yeah.
Laettner, yeah. Watching a little bit of that last night with my dad, and he was telling me about watching those championship games against Michigan in the early 90s.
That was huge, yeah.
And I'm like, it's crazy. Or even he always brings up how when the U.S. won the gold medal in 84 or 82 or 80,
for
80
what?
1980, for the Olympic hockey.
Oh, yeah, 80.
He always talks about when they beat USSR, which was not the championship game. It's semifinals.
Yeah.
He was like, I had the flu and I was home from school during that time, so I was able to watch all of it. And he's able to recount every detail. I'm like, that was prime time for you watching all this.
Well, 1980, the Olympic hockey game, that was an all-time American moment there.
Yeah.
And then the Laettner and Michigan battle, people don't realize that the Fab Five were huge. It was 5 top 50 recruits all in the same team. They were all freshmen.
And all really
trendy
and everything else.
Trendy, yes. And then against Christian Laettner, who also was huge in America. And so those were huge things.
Speaking of I shouldn't.
And that's crazy.
Speaking of huge things, we got some voicemails from Lindsay Reed coming in.
That's crazy.
Oh, Dane, I kind of like this beat. Do you
calling my
have
sister
any,
fat?
songs you can sing for me?
Yo,
I'm crazy.
you hit record, we hit regret. The voice memos, the wildest yet. Hot takes, weird thoughts, midnight dreams. The one guy still chasing his dreams. Mumbled nonsense, emotional flair. We play it back like we just don't care.
Voice memos.
So I came up with Jewish Jake, and I'm offended Jewish Jake didn't move on as someone who's known Jake since he was 11. I think that should have some weight in the fact that he's very Jewish.
Was that the end of the voicemail?
She has one other one that's a minute, but that was about Jake's bracket.
I didn't know Lindsay came up with Jewish Jake.
That was your best voice memo ever.
Lindsay, you sounded excited.
Short and to the point.
It was to the point. It was effective.
Usually takes 11 seconds for you to say your first word.
It usually, it takes Lindsay that. And then all we hear is her weed whacker car engine in the background. And
that was funny.
Then she goes, so.
I did like how at the very beginning you did still hear Shepard briefly.
Yes, briefly. Yeah. Shout out to Shepard.
She also,
just wait until Shepard can send in voice memos.
That's gonna be wild.
That's gonna be crazy.
She also has a minute 16 voice memo about COVID.
Oh.
In light of the 6-year anniversary of COVID entering our world, I have 2 questions for everybody on the pod and would love to hear your answers. Question 1, where were you and what were you doing whenever you found out that COVID had hit the world, or that the world was shutting down, I should say? And question 2, what was your favorite part of the shutdown? I'll go first. Question 1, where was I and what I was doing? I was at track practice. I was a senior in college. We went off for a run not knowing what was really going on. We knew COVID had been a thing, but we didn't even know it had hit the U.S. yet. We go on a 7-mile run. We come back. Our coach has us circle up to talk, and he tells us that the NCAA canceled our entire season, and that was it. Have a good life, basically. And then the second question, What was my favorite part of the shutdown? Everything. My favorite part was everything. Well, actually, not
Everything?
the mask. I hated those. But I love just hanging out and doing pretty much nothing. I sat on Dane's roof a lot. I played basketball with Dane and his friends. We played a ton of sand volleyball. The Michael Jordan's Last Dance documentary came out. That was like something to look forward to every week. I had a great time personally.
It's wild that she
Yeah.
said everything was her favorite part.
Yeah.
A lot of people died. So
Yeah.
you should think about yourself,
That's
Lindsay, before you say stuff. But
Where were you when it happened?
so our conference championship swim meet was
Yep.
beginning of March. That was my senior year. Luckily, we made it through, but people are still. That was kind of when things were starting to kind of like, what's happening here? Like, we
Right.
don't really know, because I have a picture on the podium where I was kind of like jokingly like doing like elbow high fives with my coach.
Yeah, because it was a joke at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of was. So I was doing
Yeah.
that, even though like everybody's so close together, nothing was really happening yet. And then the following week, I was supposed to swim in a long course meet where like 50-meter pools, like the Olympic size pools, trying to qualify for Olympic trials. So I was like prepping for that, getting some good practices in that week. I think it was like the day before I was supposed to leave for this meet. I think it was like a Thursday. Basically got like the message like, hey, the meet's canceled. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, this is not how I expected my swim career to potentially end.
Yeah.
I thought I had another chance to try to qualify for these Olympic trials. And I'm like, this really stinks. But then from there, again, I think I was in my apartment at that time. And I was like, well, I guess I'll still go to practice tonight with like the guys I was going to swim with at that meet.
Yeah, see what... Don't know.
Yeah,
any
we're like,
right
well,
now.
I guess we'll just all practice like one last time. Honestly had a really good practice. Like I was swimming really fast. And I'm like, dang, this stinks. And then we took like a selfie afterwards because we're like, we don't know what this will be. And
Man.
that ultimately was my last like college-y swim practice, or I guess like real swim practice ever.
Yeah.
I probably won't ever forget it.
Yeah.
I just know I'll swim fast. And I'm like, dang, this kind of stinks. And again, I don't think at that time anybody really knew how long everything would be shut down.
Well, nobody knew anything.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so weird.
Mhm.
It was, and then again, like that point,
Yeah.
we still don't really know about like the masking stuff or anything else.
Well, we didn't do that for like 2 months.
Yeah,
that didn't come till May.
It was a strange time.
Yeah.
But then I think we kind of went straight into, honestly, I think that was going straight into spring break.
Yes, it was.
And then from spring break got extended another week
Yeah.
for us in Missouri. I think probably most places. And I'm like, well, now I have 2 weeks. So basically,
Well, they're trying to figure it
2
out,
weeks, like
yeah.
no school related stuff. So that's also when Tiger King came out, I believe.
Yes.
I believe
Murder Hornets.
Yeah, I believe I started binging that.
Or Australia was on fire that year.
I was putting
I
together.
think Kobe died that year.
That
in
was
February.
before like all of it happened.
Yeah,
that was
he
like
died in
that
February.
was like the big point that kind of was beginning of the end for us.
2020 was crazy.
But yeah, I remember just doing like puzzles. Like every night, I'd be like, "Here's another 1,000-piece puzzle I have. Let's just knock it out right now."
Yeah.
Doing that while listening to Ventures in Odyssey,
Dang it.
radio drama. Shout out.
So then what was your favorite part?
I mean, I think jumping on a lot of Zoom calls with friends and playing that online Catan game. We
Yeah?
did that a lot.
Oh, man.
There was a lot of nights that I was staying up until the sun started coming up, and I'm like, this isn't healthy, but I still did it.
Take it.
So yeah, probably just playing a lot of online Catan, just doing a lot of like random video calls with people,
Yeah.
several of which aren't people who necessarily lived in Springfield, so I got to
Yeah.
connect with people who I didn't really connect with a lot in the first place.
That makes sense.
Yeah, what about you?
Well, so it was crazy. So where was I? I remember exactly where I was. So it was, so like we said, it was a joke at first. Like we had heard about it like being in China and things like
Yeah.
that. And then it was called, like, we don't really say it now, but the coronavirus. And
Yeah.
so we would make corona jokes all the time. And anytime somebody was sick, we're like, oh, do you have corona?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it was haha, whatever. And then I remember being at, I heard like there's a couple cases confirmed in the United States now. Okay, whatever.
Yep.
Don't know anything about it, not really concerned about it. When I remember being concerned about it was I was working at Hy-Vee and I was working one night and my phone is blowing up.
Yeah.
Like exploding, and I was getting Twitter notifications from the NBA because the NBA is in full swing, ramping up towards like the playoffs, and it said officials have called a stop to the end of the Minnesota Timberwolves game. I can't remember who they're. I think Utah Jazz. Yeah, it was Minnesota Utah Jazz. Officials have called a stop. They've ran out, said something to the official scorers table. They made an announcement that tonight's game is canceled and everybody needs to leave immediately. And I was like, what is happening? My first thought was there was a bomb threat at this place, and I was like, that's crazy. What is happening? And it comes out that Rudy Gobert, who played center for the Jazz at the time, he actually plays for Minnesota now, but he came down with COVID, and then he was like joking at the press conference, and like he actually has COVID, and then people were mad at him because of that.
Touching on the mics and everything else.
Yes, and then I'm like, okay, is this COVID thing that big of a deal? That's when I started thinking about that.
Yeah.
And then by the next day, the NBA had canceled the season. By the following day, the MLB had canceled their season. The NFL like postponed the draft. March Madness was canceled, and I was like, what is happening? It was like the first feeling that I thought of like, is this how like our great grandparents or grandparents felt during World War II?
Yeah.
Or something like that, where it's like you're like running to a TV just to get any update on like what is happening. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And
I think they used Twitter back then.
they did, yes. So it was just this feeling of like, what is the update? What are we supposed to do? I don't know anything. And so everybody's actually checking news outlets now. Everybody's listening to Fauci and do like his updates every day. Because he said at first, no, masks will not help anything. And so that's why we didn't do masks for 2 months. And then he said, oh no, you need to double mask. Oh no, you need this kind of mask.
No one knew.
Nobody
They
knew.
were just trying to take their best guess.
And that's the point, is nobody knew. And then, so now I was deemed an essential worker. So I kept working at Hy-Vee because grocery stores had to be open.
You're a hero.
Something like that. And so my favorite part was similar to Lindsay's favorite part. Like we all went outside a lot during this time because everybody had everything shut down. So most people aren't working. There's no sports going on. So like the way I always remember the time that the world shut down is my birthday was super normal, March 9th. And we went bowling. Everything was great. Went out to eat, blah, blah, blah. Lindsay's birthday, March 23rd, everything was shut down. We had to do it in the backyard. Like very few people could be invited. People went home and it was like crazy. And so I remember the Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary though coming out.
Still never watched it.
What?
Yeah, I haven't.
It's amazing.
That's what I've heard. It was a lot to commit to. It's 10 episodes.
Dig it.
But Tiger King, on the other hand, I watched both seasons.
But it was the last thing that I ever made my way to a TV to make sure I was there sitting down at a certain time on a certain day to watch. Because streaming was already big, but it was like, this came out every Sunday. There was no sports happening. So every Sunday.
It came out at the perfect time.
Oh, yeah.
Same with the Tiger King. Like some things, like they would be big, but they were so much bigger because of when it dropped.
I told Lindsay.
Actually, they moved it up. It wasn't supposed to be that early.
Like,
hey, guys, we should move it up when no one can watch sports.
Oh, it was genius. Yeah. And so I told Lindsay she would come over and watch it every week. I said, here's a notepad, here's a pen, write down your questions. Do not say anything during this.
Yes.
Because you can't rewind it. This is live TV right now.
That is true.
And so you had to wait till a commercial to like do anything. And everybody sitting there with me was like locked in. You can't say anything, blah, blah, blah. And so it was just amazing. And so COVID experience for me also was great. I got COVID twice, and first time was kind of rough, but made it through. And so, but yeah, so COVID itself, it was crazy. Nobody knew, like that was the only time I ever felt that way. Just like in the news, like I need to be watching the news. I don't know how to feel right now. I need the news to tell me how to feel. Am I going to die if I get this? That's
it was weird.
It was wild, and everybody's freaking out over it. And so it made me freak out. And that's really what it was, is everybody else freaking out made me want to freak out.
Yeah.
And so
I know I also watched social media around that time was wild, but there was a lot. I don't know if everybody was doing this or if I was just in a weird algorithm thing. Watching a lot of marble racing videos.
Oh, yeah.
Where they'd have like tons of marbles and they would have like random paths. And you're like, I'm voting for blue. Blue's going to win. Blue's going to win. Yeah. There was
all those trends that kept happening too.
Yeah. There was some good social media stuff happening around then.
That was the last time social media was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, honestly, that was. Like, and then they changed the algorithm, everything else. I'm like, now it's dumb.
Because it was like, last time you could just post like casual stories. It was a trend story.
Or a casual post and you would have more than 30 people see it.
Yeah. And like I remember I did a song one where it was like 30-day songs. It was a song that you feel this feeling to, and I would post the song to it.
Yeah.
It was the last time you could really post something casual on Instagram, really.
I really hate the algorithm because it kind of ruined the fun part of social
There was
media.
no reels. I downloaded TikTok that year because it was already out, but I was like, oh, I'm super bored. I'll just get TikTok now.
That's probably why you got COVID.
Exactly.
So we got some comments from this week, one of which was from Keenan A. Smith. He put, I can't believe one of my teams were eliminated. RIP.
Which one was it?
Jake Aroni and Cheese.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, it had no chance.
That was a good one.
He put, my other team is still alive, but who knows? Maybe we'll have a comment. We'll have to wait until next week to read. Then Jack just loves commenting on other people's comments so he can comment more because you only get one normal comment.
Oh, that makes sense.
So he responded, tragic. We should put in a new name, Jake Filet.
Ooh.
He also put Kim Jake Un. And he put, add these to next year's bracket. Jack, we're probably not doing a next year's bracket.
We're going to do a different bracket next year.
Then Jack put a normal comment where he put a few thoughts. Samuel's way too excited about Wiener Wednesday.
Whoa!
Samuel's insight on pregnancy predictions and methods make him a certified candidate to become a doula.
What?
Dane wants to segregate redheads because they are a dangerous species. Birthdays are amazing, and I love my birthday, and it makes me so happy. Dane, you are wrong. Describing marathon runners having to persevere and push their limits in life is just as much effort it takes for Samuel to get up early enough to make it to church on time.
True.
Yeah. And then he put additional notes about this epic episode. Samuel said, go a little slower and finish.
Whoa.
Gosh, that's what she said. That's what he put.
That's ridiculous.
And he put Plato's Closet has prices out of this world. Size doesn't matter in basketball. This episode is making us all become a gyrating Jake. Jack, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Jack should legitimately be arrested.
Yeah. Rebecca put, I have two names in the bracket. Let's go.
Let's go.
Shout out it because in caps. Shout out it because in caps. Oh, because, you should have put it at the beginning.
Oh, shout it in caps.
Yeah, because she put all her comment in caps, but then she put it in parentheses at the end. She should have put it at the beginning, so I would have yelled it, but now I'm not going to. Then Angela Birdwell put, currently have 3 March Madness brackets going. One legit, one okay, and the third is just the underdogs winning.
Yeah.
That bracket is already busted, though, since Sienna couldn't hang on for the win.
Well, yeah.
Go Ags.
Back in the day, so ESPN would let you do up to 25 brackets. And then
Still can.
Yeah, and then CBS would let me do another 10, so I would make 35 brackets
That's
every year.
insane because you can't cheer for anybody because everybody, you're like, no, they lost, but they, yeah.
Well, I would just do slight variations of the same thing on all of them.
That's why I basically just did 2 legit ones, and then I had one where I had Wisconsin go the whole way with like the same results. Except on that one, or one of them, I guess I messed up. I thought I had Texas winning over BYU in every bracket, but in the one I guess I didn't care about as much, I randomly had BYU winning. So I don't know why I did that exactly.
I usually always will print out like a real bracket, and then I write it in what I actually think.
Yeah.
And then I do the variations one.
Yeah. Then we had a poll. Will you accept the results of Jake's March Madness bracket? Yes, no, or I'll accept the results if my favorite wins. And that received all the votes.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yes. So we'll see how that goes.
Doesn't matter. We're going to call them by whoever wins.
Yeah. But that means it's time for our number one sponsor of the week, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Nice. Welcome back to Jesus' part in the episode at 1 hour and 32 minutes into the episode.
Yep.
So I'm teaching twice this week. I'm teaching once at the young adult ministry and then once at the high school ministry. So it's a lot of writing. That's what I'm going to leave and go do after this. But I have the high school one done. And it's over, John chapter 11. And they're doing a series. Well, this is me too, but also the guy who runs the high school ministry. They're doing a series called the I Am Statements, learning about who Jesus is. And so he is letting me do I am the resurrection and the life in John chapter 11, 17 through 27. And so I'll read you kind of like the crescendo end part of this because I do a lot of setup into it and then I get into the thing. So it gets to the point where, the context is Lazarus dies, right? So Lazarus dies, and then Martha and Mary are there. It's their brother, and they send for Jesus. They're like, Jesus, come heal him. And Jesus goes, no, I want to stay here because it's going to be better that I can come and do something miraculous, essentially, and give glory to the Son of Man. And so Lazarus dies. Then Jesus shows up on the scene, and this is where we get into it here. So Jesus gets there, and we see Martha and Jesus having a conversation. And in verse 21, it says, Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now, I know that whatever you ask from God, God will give you. So Martha, who's filled with grief right here, her brother like just dies. And like now, Jesus, the only person who can actually do anything about it, is here. And she like recognizes that Jesus is God. Like in this statement here, she said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. So she recognizes that he actually can heal people. And she's seen him heal people before. And like she's seen him like heal the lame and make the blind see again. And she rightly recognizes that her hope is only found in Jesus. And that's the first point that I have in this message, is that her hope is only found in Jesus, and he is the only one who can make things right, and she's hoping that Jesus will make things right with her brother. And so check out like Jesus' response here. In verse 23, he says to her, your brother will rise again. And this seems like good news. Like he's telling her like, hey, you're going to see your brother again. And that's really, really good news. But she's kind of confused, as we all would be, because Jesus is saying that someone will rise from the dead. Like that doesn't happen. People don't just rise from the dead. Dead people don't come back to life. Jesus, you're crazy. Like that doesn't make any sense. But Martha like starts to think through it a little bit, and she concludes like this must be like Jesus is talking about like on the last day, like I'll see him in heaven. Like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll see him one day. And then Jesus hits us with a statement that's the point of the entire like talk here in verse 25. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet he shall live. And everyone who believes in me shall never die. And right here, Jesus is flat out saying that eternal life is found only in him. It's found only in him. And that everyone who believes in him, you will die a physical death. Like you will die a physical death in this life, but you will wake up from that physical death in paradise with him. Like you're going to wake up in paradise with him. And I heard a pastor say it like this one time: for the Christian, those who trusted in Jesus' life, death, and resurrection as payment for their sins, this life is as bad as it gets. And for those who don't trust that, this life is actually as good as it gets, and it actually only gets worse from here. And the reality is that your life is actually heading somewhere, whether you like it or not. And this brings me back to the original question that I had at the very beginning of this talk, which is, what is the good life? Because at 20 years old, if you had asked me what I thought the good life would be, I would say the most success, the status, the money. I just wanted to be really, really cool. In fact, I used to get haircuts, and I'm going to show a picture of this, haircuts like this, and where my hair is really tall and really trendy, and I really just wanted to be really cool. And I also wanted to take really cool pictures with my friends and just post them on social media and be like the coolest person. And so I would chase these things all because I wanted a taste of the good life. I would chase them, and I wanted it all, and I wanted it now, and I wanted it my way. And it took until I started following Jesus at 20 to realize that the life I was pursuing, the one of trying to have the most money, the stuff, the status, the success, it was all fake and hollow. It wasn't real. And I craved something more. And slowly over time, as I started pursuing Jesus, I started to realize that the good life is actually eternal life with Jesus. And on this side of heaven, the good life actually looks more like going to small group and talking about the deeper things in life, the things that you never thought you would share with anybody. And now you're talking about these things, and people are like, hey, I actually go through that too. And you're like, this is awesome. And then you start to pour into other people, and you start to see them realize this like same truth. And they're like, wow, this is amazing. Why didn't you tell me about this? And you're able to tell them that Jesus is the only one who is actually able to offer the good life. And that's a shortened version of what I'm going to say to the kids.
Lots of good words coming from you. Number 2, sponsors of the week: Jake, Trustin, Art, Pretty Ricky, and Baby Reverend Banks.
Wow. Pretty Ricky is in Italy right now.
Of course.
Typical.
Checks out. Yeah. Typical Pretty Ricky move.
Baby Reverend Banks, don't know what he's doing.
He's probably sleeping,
pooping,
or eating.
In that
order.
Or all three.
Yeah. And then Jake, Trustin, Art's just doing his thing.
He's arting it up. I think he called me the other day, but I was doing something. But yeah.
That's pretty cool. Number 3, sponsor of the week is Chuck Norris. We had to bring it back.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris, hero to many, father to few.
Icon to all.
Yeah, icon to all. We had that written out in advance. But yeah, it is sad, though, that he passed, but I could be wrong. I think he was a Christian.
I don't know.
I think he was. Hopefully he was. And yeah.
And his legacy lives on.
It does.
Yeah.
So shout out to Chuck Norris.
Wow.
And then
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Chuck Norris. Finally, we still have Until Next Week shirts available. Larges, XLs. Hit us up if you're interested. Friday Pickleball. If you want to use the link in my bio, you can get $5 off, I believe, 2 different paddles if you click the link, or $10 off if you only buy one Friday Pickleball paddle. That is a Aura.
Ooh.
I think that's how that works.
I have one.
Dane's Ministry support link's still in the bio if you want to help him out over these next couple months.
Just
or
Venmo me.
Or Venmo him also. We can do that too. Just let us know. And then also use the code Samuel14434 if you want 10% off a Bloom card to lock you out of your device. They're pretty handy. Finally, keep telling your friends if you enjoy the podcast. Leave us 5 stars and follow us on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, where you can leave us a voice memo. And finally, thanks again for listening to episode 169 of the Until Next Week podcast. That's all we got.
Rest in peace, Chuck.